Season 2 opening credits coming up, and you hear that kind of that bass line, and then it says stop, contemplate, and listen. David's back with a brand new direction. And it just from there, everybody knows they've entered into goodness.
Nice beauty.
Hey, I should hire you guys for marketing for Seeking Beauty.
Nice.
Yes,
Guys, check out Seeking Beauty.
Seeking Beauty, that is, rather. Seeking Beauty on EWTN. You just download the app on Amazon or
That's right.
Apple TV
That's
or
right.
whatever it is. And
Yep.
it's just right there. You don't even have to create a login.
I
It's
love
so
it.
nice. It's just like,
Well done, Nick.
You just click, and boom, you're watching this awesome show. You're
Thank you.
transported straight to
Yeah.
Italy.
He has a better attention to detail than I do.
Yes.
BeatiDudes! Yes, BeatiDudes. Welcome to the show that is helping men to go on their walk, leading everything towards Christ for him and with him, but doing it through authentic fraternity at tiny tables. My name's Jeff Scheffelbein. Happy to be one of the BeatiDudes along with Nick Besner.
What's going on?
Paul Kolker.
I, too, am happy to be one of the dudes.
This is an amazing moment. We've been trying to make this one happen for a long time. We're going to dive into his life in a minute, but I just want to introduce real quick. We got Edmundo Reyes straight from Detroit.
Yes.
Is it Detroit proper?
Well, Ann Arbor, Michigan. You know.
Is there a difference?
There's a big school there. And
Wow.
Is it like an hour and a half? Like how long does it take to get from one to the other?
from like 40 minutes.
Yeah, so it's the same
Yeah, it's
city.
the same. Yeah. we say Southeast Michigan.
DFW.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's all the same.
That's
Yeah.
right.
We
Yeah.
just work in regions.
Yeah.
Us and them.
Yeah.
That's Texas.
Couple of really cool things have happened lately. One is the Super Bowl happened. I don't know if you knew about this. I ended up at a Super Bowl party that I've been at a couple times, and I just want to point out something very strange that is actually something you can hire out. It is not affiliated with the BeatiDudes directly, but it is because it involves one of us.
Yeah.
The party I was at, the family was like, look, there's 70 kids here. We don't know what's going to happen in this halftime party or whatever the show is, and there's no commentary on this. It was literally just like, so that nobody has to have a debate, we're going to turn that off right now. Anybody can watch it later. But we brought in somebody special. And literally, this is the party that Paul's gone to for the 16 years that it's existed. He's the one, okay, since before any of them had kids.
Amazing.
Last year when I was there, they gave Paul not only a trophy, but they did poetry about Paul at halftime. It was
I did not expect that.
bananas, man.
Awesome.
They're so great.
They said that this year that Paul didn't know that the fine print in the trophy said he's the halftime entertainment for 2026, and he led an improv, hangout, interaction, like comedy night for tons and tons of kids ranging from 3 to 16 and a bunch of adults. And man, it was killer.
Thank you.
You crushed
Oh,
it.
it's so fun. Yeah. And those kids got into it, but then so did the adults. And so it played really well for a living room show.
You can bring Paul around all your kids. If it's a traveling gig, 15 grand. If it's local, a reduced price to 12. Yeah,
Jeff,
dudes,
I've noticed those numbers have gone up since you started taking a cut.
I know, it's wonderful. Capitalism. Ain't it great? Paul, I got you a gift.
Oh,
Yeah.
What is
for
all this?
all your work. Just don't hold it real quick. This is my gift to you.
What-
if you want to
what
zoom in
even
on
is
this,
that?
don't touch it.
Oh, is that from your toe? Oh, thank you for not letting me touch
The
it.
pin.
I didn't want you to punch me. This was in my second toe for the last 5 weeks.
It's so long.
I debated because the other thing I thought about doing that instead I went that route of just showing it to you like that. The other thing I thought about doing was making you watch a video of it come out and maybe do like a play-by-play.
No.
I mean, I didn't do that. I was going to.
You're doing it. For our audio-only listeners,
They're not going to see it either.
Jeff was showing us the video. My stomach is doing backflips.
Well, you're very acrobatic. It's pretty impressive what you can do inside that body of yours.
Impressive.
Lacrose batic intolerant.
Poor Edmundo. What is he doing here? Why even do this? Well, I'll tell you why. Because this is where it happens. The magic is the fraternity. Do you know that?
True.
We've had a fraternity with you for a long time.
Oh, I believe that.
Do you know where Edmundo and me and Paul first encountered one another?
The 2018 Catholic Creative Summit.
Dude, you weren't there, man. That's why
I'm only reminded of that every 4 weeks.
Yes. I pick up some resentment, like I wasn't there, but look, we're here.
I was
now.
like,
we're here.
I was engaged
We're
in 2018. I was
You were
busy. I was busy.
Busy
I
with-
was looking forward to marriage, and
Yes.
Very sweet.
I was running down the Katy Trail, not a care in the world.
We were in there doing hard business, setting a foundation for the future of the Catholic Church and Western
Yes.
civilization.
And I hitched on.
That's right.
Well played, sir. Well played.
It was the epicenter of many,
Wild.
many good things.
It is. It's crazy how
It
much
is.
has come out of that.
I am so grateful for that event. I mean, it changed my life in a real way.
I agree
Yeah.
completely. And it was interesting because so many people in that room, both of you included, were unknown to me walking in there.
Yep.
And I look back at it and think, what happened by just putting people in a room together?
Yeah.
The presentations and the programming was all great. The D'Ambrosi's did a great job.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't remember.
I don't either. Because my point is, it was actually just about getting everybody together.
Yes.
Well, no,
I
yeah,
agree.
like I think all of that kind of became the excuse, right, for this massive explosion of networking, essentially. I mean, like just bringing the body of Christ together in a very intentional way.
I think that we wouldn't have the BeatiDudes if it wasn't for that moment, because that's literally the connection that caused us to be what they call online buddies.
Yeah.
And then that
And
turned
then
into
a radio
real buddies.
show, and
Are we buddies?
yeah.
Yeah, no, real buddies.
Yeah, real buddies.
Yeah.
They're podcast buddies now.
Podcast buddies.
Yeah, don't go so far.
Easy now.
As to say real buddy.
And
Yeah,
then
that's for top tier.
Yeah,
Sorry.
gotta get up there.
that's right. Yeah. Why don't you use my jokes against me? That's really cool. Edmundo, then what I think was really neat is there was this thing that I would almost call Catholic Creatives for Adults called Cent Ventures when they
Yes.
launched it in 2022.
Yes, that Houston one was big too.
And that's the second event
Yes.
that I will tell you everything hinged on
Yes.
in the relationship building and really has turned into an explosion that we're all still hitched onto in a great way. We quad dogged it at the Cent Ventures Summit in
2025.
Didn't we? Did we quad? There was 4 of us?
I think so.
Maybe.
3 for
22 or 25?
25.
25
Yeah,
was all
South
4
Bend.
of us.
Notre Dame.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really special. So maybe someday you can share a hotel room with us.
No, thank you. hard pass. Like you guys, not
Well,
that much.
now we know where your, what your goals are.
How do you think we can afford all this nice equipment?
I know. Big tent, you bring.
It's on the
camper.
savings.
Yeah.
It's on the savings of the per night.
Dude, BeatiDudes from the Camper is like a month-long hit the road live stream that I am
We
so
just need
ready
like
for.
4 big sponsors to
Yeah.
make that a
And we
reality.
all wear
That would be great.
GoPros.
Yes.
No, that would be great.
And you will be
On the road.
live producing it from the
Sign me up.
camper.
We could
Sign
do it
me
as a
up.
pilgrimage to
Yes.
Our Lady of Champion.
There you go.
Yes.
Yep.
That's not far from you.
No, I'm actually planning on going there this year.
All right.
My parents just went.
Yeah, they say it's
In the
awesome.
fall. Yeah.
Did they like it?
Come on.
Come on. It's your parents.
Yes,
They love
it's
Mary.
Our Lady. Yeah, appeared
Yeah.
in the United States.
That's so cool.
Unbelievable. Hey, Edmundo, I mean, we were telling people we know you. We're sharing stories about feet and comedy and everything in between. What
Quite a range.
what we need to do is take a big step back and explain that you're one of the leaders of the digital missionary world, like explosion in the Catholic Church, a thought leader, a strategist, a content creator, a producer.
Emperor of the 8th continent, some would say.
Oh, yes.
That
And in
sounds
the
awful.
8th continent, you can be the emperor with no clothes and
I
nobody
know.
knows because it's digital.
Literally, I was thinking the Disney movie, that emperor, not like a nice emperor. I was thinking
Sure. Well, there's the Emperor's New Groove, and he has a conversion.
That's the one. That's the one I was thinking. That's exactly the one.
So tell people, like, let's go back in your career. Where did you come from? Let's talk about what's going on in your life from whatever stage you want to go back to, and then we'll play it forward.
I think the best start is really my conversion story.
Yeah, let's do it.
And then we can fast forward. We can talk about that. But I was 17 years old. I was living in Monterrey, Mexico. Actually, I was born in Mexico City, in a small city, about 23 million people. Like grab all of the metro area of New York and then all the metro area of Washington, D.C. and then put them together. And that's
barely a blip.
Yeah, and it's like half the footprint or 1/4 footprint. So it's a highly dense place, but it's an awesome place. I grew up there, grew up Catholic. Most people in Mexico at that time, things have changed, but at that time, they would say they were Catholic.
Culturally.
Catholic. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. That's just part of, you like football, like soccer, you love the Our Lady of Guadalupe, right? Like those are the things that you do. My mom would take us to Mass, but not every Sunday. My dad would only go to Mass, or what I remember, on the last day of the year, December 31st, because he always wanted to go and give thanks to God. But those are like the memories that I have in terms of a faith. And that's just how I grew up. I was a very good student growing up. I loved to just apply myself to school.
Yeah.
Like my dad said, like, that's your job. That's what you need to do. And that's what I did. I went to an all boys school in Mexico, a Catholic school, massive school. Like in my grade, there were 7 classrooms. Each one of them had 42 boys.
What's it called? Whoa.
Instituto Mexico.
Wow.
It's a Marist, but it's like that. Just think about that. That's a lot of boys per grade. Yeah. So I was not athletic enough to crack the basketball team and the soccer team. So academics was my way to make my mark. And then we had like math and Spanish instead of English. Natural sciences and all that, and religion. And I really just knew religion as a subject. As that you learn.
Yeah.
The textbook knowledge.
Yes, the Bible, the stories, the saints. But honestly, growing up, it never occurred to me that it was real.
Yeah.
I just thought it was just part of something you learn. Maybe there's a God, but I didn't see the connection with this religion, And I just didn't see it in my family, or I didn't live it myself. So it was just something cultural, tradition, something, just like you're Mexican and you're Catholic. Yeah. And that's just who you are. So anyways, that's the story of my life up to the point that I'm a 17-year-old freshman in college. I'm young. I don't know what I want to do. And there's pride in me. And my friends, some of my friends ended up in economics, because it's very hard, and it's what you do in Mexico at that time in the 90s if you wanted to be a politician. So I ended up actually going in that career path. And in Mexico, it's a bit different than in the US, where you have to choose your path early on. Like from out of high school, you're going to be a lawyer, you're going to be a doctor, you're going to be an engineer, or you're going to be doing things. So I didn't know what I wanted. I ended up in this career. I hated it. Including all the math that I had to take. It was just awful. I was like, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah.
But somebody invites me to this retreat and changes my life. And there's a lot of things that happen in the retreat, but the biggest thing is, for the first time ever, I consider, what if all of these is true? What if there's a God who's almighty, who created the universe, who created me, who loves me, who has a plan for my life? What if that is true? Because that's what the retreat was about. Yeah. They were really good. These were students that were joyful, that they had something that I didn't have, but they were able to articulate that question to me and communicate that and challenge me. What if all of this is true? And at that moment, a moment of grace, faith is grace. It's a gift from God. Like, I actually, opened my mind and my heart to that question. Yeah. And that changed everything. God,
so awesome.
God just came and changed everything. I share that story, not to go so back, but because something happened right after my life. When you give your life to the Lord, one of the things that happens for all of us that have some sort of conversion is your life takes a new meaning. And for me, the meaning was the purpose of my life. I'm not here for myself. This is not about me. It's not about what I want to do, but it's about God's mission. So God put in my heart this desire to be a missionary and to make my life about sharing the gospel. And in my mind, 17-year-old, what I was thinking is, the gospel is the best message that has ever been heard, preached, communicated. It's the life-changing, most powerful thing, because I was experiencing it myself. Yeah. And I felt like the church really sucks communicating. This is the mid-90s.
Yes.
Like, it was just terrible, right? Like, we were so behind. We didn't have a presence in media. We didn't have a presence in, our churches weren't doing anything.
My confirmation class had coloring books.
Yeah. I mean, it was awful, right? Like, so I felt in my heart, God was calling me to communicate this message, and especially during that time. And these are the mid-90s. And the mid-90s are a little bit like now with AI. That's how it felt with the digital revolution there. So there were these emerging technologies, and you guys probably laugh, right? Emerging technologies meant email and internet, right? Like, but it was like life changing.
Yeah.
It was like,
Sure.
like this is incredible. And what captured my mind was the idea of putting a message out there for everybody to hear in the world. So for the first time ever in the digital revolution, you had the ability to communicate and broadcast a message without having to own or work for a media company.
Yeah.
The only way that you could do it before is you would be on the radio, you would own a newspaper, or you would write a newspaper, you would have a role on TV. So very few had access to broadcast and to mass media communications. And the digital revolution changes everything. So that's where I felt my call, from the very, very beginning on, you have this message, now go and do something with it in this digital world. So that's less the story of my conversion, but also of my career. And from that moment on, like I've always worked in the church, for the church, in the church, always connected to media, always connected to communications in one way or another.
Yeah.
I did spend a lot of time at the very beginning of my career doing campus evangelization, like focus missionary type of thing. And that was so helpful because it helped me to understand what it means to preach the gospel and what it means to make disciples. And then I've been translating all that knowledge, 30 years after now in the work that I do through my company, Digital Continent. And I can tell you more about it, but that's really the beginning of the story is a young guy, 17 years old, that all of a sudden has identity and purpose.
I love too what you're saying. Like, you can't realize that it's real and not be changed forever, or else you didn't actually go through the mental and emotional and connection to the Holy Spirit, to God's word. You have to be different after that.
Honestly, like when you hear the gospel, if you actually hear it, you have to ponder, like, if this is real, then everything needs to change.
Yeah.
My life is going to be completely different.
Yeah.
Like, otherwise, you couldn't keep doing the same things if you truly believe in the gospel message.
Yeah.
Like the whole idea that someone created you with a purpose and loves you and has a plan for your life and is calling you to give your life to others. Like, makes you question everything, every decision that you've ever made.
Well, and I love that part of your story, I think, is going to be really relatable for a lot of people, is that you had all this head knowledge, right? Because it is possible to just sort of study it like it's part of a textbook, right? And I think too often the truths of the faith are presented as just more subject matter.
Yep.
Right. Instead of the evangelizing or the why am I blanking on the word right now? At Pentecost, the kerygma, right?
Yes.
Instead of like just that evangelizing moment of, no, here's the truth. And
Yep.
Here's what you need to know.
I was so blessed that the group that was sponsoring this retreat and the group that evangelized me, and it was this community of great people that were doing great campus outreach type of work. One of the things that they were very particular about was their love for sacred scripture, which is not something that we as Catholics are good at. But that changed everything. When you read the Bible, like that this is true, but also that this is personal, and that there's wisdom here for your life, and that God is speaking and revealing himself to you through it, it changes everything. Because it goes from like a book to God's revelation, right? Like it's just like a different dimension. You can read like a great book and be impacted by it, but this is not like any book, right? This is God's word, living word. So that was very important to me. And then mentally I made that change, right? Like where I knew these things, but then I switched to believing these things and believing in him, believing in a God who loved me, a person.
The fact that you know that that's a revealing or an encounter through Scripture, that's a way to experience the living Christ. You have that available to you all the time. You have it in prayer. You have it in the sacraments. You have it in community. There's all these places where it's available to us. And if you don't know it's there, you're wondering if you're ever going to come across it. Once you know, you realize you were in it all along. You just hadn't opened up or hadn't been hit by the conversion moment. And I love what somebody said on the show one time, that all of us have had a conversion. You didn't just at 5 years old come into an age of reason and know all this. You were converting all the way through to the stage that you're at now.
And God has this timing, right? And knows when is the time for you. And and obviously we cooperate with God's grace. It's not just like forced to us, and it's not scripted, but But yeah, no, like all along, I felt God was preparing you for that. And then, I made reference on this digital world. Like I feel like now we're living through this AI revolution, through my company. And I can talk a little bit about, it's more than a company, it's like a ministry.
Yeah.
But we're involved in this question of faith and AI. But I feel like we're in the similar moment now in 2025, 26, compared to where I was in 1995 and 96, where the world was changing and the world was presenting technologies that allowed us to do things that we couldn't do before. And there was just this special moment, at that time for me to say, hey, this is where I want to be. I want to be in this world on media communications. I want to be an evangelist in that space. We didn't have the language that we have now, this digital missionary language, or, like that didn't exist, but that was really in my heart from the very, very beginning. And I just figured out, how do I use these new media, these new ways to communicate the best message that the world has ever heard?
Well, it goes back to a little bit to like parables, right? Like, I think we can all relate to the prodigal son in some form or fashion. I was just talking with my uncle at Christmas, and he was like, really telling me like and identifying with that story. And I'm like, it just kind of struck me. Like, I think that's the beauty of the parables, right? Is like we can all identify in some form or fashion with them and finding that sort of way home.
And, the parables is like master storytelling, right? This is like Jesus knowing, his audience and crafting a message that would resonate with the people of that time for the type of people he was speaking to. I mean, some of the parables are very, salt of the earth type of parables, right? Like, that's I guess.
That is a parable.
That is a parable.
That's literally what
self-defining.
Yeah, that's right. I need to try harder here. But you know what I mean? It's like he was talking to fishermen and he was talking to
the seeds that get scattered on
exactly,
the ground. Right?
Things that they would understand. And that's really what's at the heart of what I do. Like, how do we do the same? How do we do the same thing that Jesus did with the parables of communicating truth to an audience that can receive that message and welcome it, that doesn't feel there's a way that you can do things where people receive them and are open to it, and when they feel like they're being told exactly.
Yeah,
there's plenty of people who don't know anything about Scripture. And have you ever done where you give somebody a parable, but you don't say that Jesus taught, or according to the Gospel of Mark or whatever, you just tell somebody this parable as if it's just wisdom that came into your life, and they're like, and that's genius. And you're like,
yes,
it is.
Yes. It's life changing.
Yeah, I won't take credit. I will say, by the way, I got that from Scripture, but to not start that way.
Yeah,
I never done it. That's actually very cool.
I did it with the laborers that show up in the 11th hour and get the same wages, which is me telling somebody to shut up about their wages.
That's how to use Scripture.
No, that's not what I did to it, but it's a good one to use. How'd you end up in Detroit? What's the story?
Yeah, so anyway, so
it's
I have
just
this
like Mexico
without sun.
Yeah,
and your face hurts when you come out in the middle of
people
winter.
Don't touch each other there because they get stuck.
Dude, man, lately I've been traveling a lot because of the work that I do.
Yeah.
And my wife and I were always like, Why do we live here? Can you remind me? Yeah.
Somebody has to.
Oh man, it's just I love it from like May to October.
Yeah.
But
he's convincing himself.
I'm watching
yes, but the other months it's just hard, bro. It's dark and gray and cold and bitter. Like and I've lived in Minnesota too, so I'll tell you more about picking up from there to all the way to now. Oh, they're very different. They're very different. See, here's a difference between living in Minnesota and Michigan. In Michigan, it's cold, but there's this idea that you just need to endure it and survive it. So you hunker down, you go to your basement, you order pizza, you watch, movies, and then you're just like, you complain about the weather. Like Minnesota is so cold and for so long that you cannot do that. Otherwise, like 10 months of the year, you're... So people just approach it differently where they just love it. They just look forward to winter.
Minnesota, they look forward to winter.
Yes, they're crazy. They love winter. They look forward to it.
That's where all the hockey players come from.
Yeah. And they're proud of it, and they're ready for it, and they have the gear, and their homes are prepared.
Interesting.
And so it's like winter is coming. It's like a good thing.
Yeah, but
They're so
Culturally.
different.
And they have sun too. So that makes a huge difference. So their winters have sun.
Okay.
And then for me, it's like once it gets under certain temperature, it's the same. Like once you're in single digits, like it could be minus 10 or 9 degrees. It's the same. You're not going to do, you're going to change your...
From +9 to -20, it's all just too cold to go out.
Exactly. but then if you take... Anyways, that's...
Yeah.
Like I'm a huge fan of Minnesotans and how they approach winter. Like very different. Michigan, you survive it. In Minnesota, they're just looking forward to it. Like can't wait for winter to be here. Like...
Okay.
Yeah, I know,
Step
right?
up, Michigan. Come on.
I know. And maybe I'm talking about my Michigan experience.
Michiganders.
Yeah, I know, right? Up north in Michigan, they love winter, but like the southeast is like...
Oh,
we just-
the UP?
yeah, the real...
The Upper Peninsula?
The UP, that's right. Anyways, so how did I end up in...
up the map?
No, because they have the...
Oh yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they always do the thing with their hands, the two mittens. Anyways, I ended up there because I was fleeing violence in Mexico related to the drug cartels and all of that.
Yeah.
So, just that's an interesting story to share.
I didn't know any of that.
So first, I get married. We wanted to do mission, my wife and I. And the first years we did missionary work with Campus Outreach Organization. Their name is St. Paul's Outreach. They're in Minnesota. So actually, I ended up living there for 5 years.
Do you know they're doing an event at my house in 4 weeks?
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're having like a little Dallas event.
Oh, that's awesome.
Come back down.
They're good people.
Yeah.
I love SPO people. They're good.
That's not who you were running from, so I don't need to run from them.
No.
Okay. No, I
So
think they're
anyways,
awesome.
so I was with them. I ended up moving to Virginia and Washington, D.C. area, Maryland, and I was working for an organization, The Word Among Us, which few people know this, but The Word Among Us was the Halo of the past.
Got it.
They didn't make the transition digitally, but they were as effective as Halo is now on helping people pray. They published this magazine that they would sell. It was the biggest devotional in the world in all these languages, and then people would basically pray every day with their Word Among Us magazine. So I worked for that organization. I learned a lot there. But I was feeling like a bit of homesick. My friends were in Mexico. We had 3 children at that time, very young. And we just felt like, man, we need family, we need community, we need other people around us. Yeah. So we ended up actually deciding to move back to Mexico. So I grew up in Mexico City, but then we moved to Monterrey, and I had a lot of friends there. My parents were there. And we go there, and it's 2008, and this is where the drug wars were happening in Mexico. We lasted only 6 months. So we sold everything. We moved there. I drove the van full of things. We settled there. We were supposed to be there 5 years so our kids would learn Spanish. And we just lasted 6 months. Like we had a break in our house. We had some awful things that I don't even want to share here, but like really like violence that is not, is beyond that. But in God's, this is how God works.
Wow.
Because of that, we decided to go to Michigan. We had some friends there and some family. My wife, I put her on a plane after the break-in. She got there with the kids, and I had to sell a bunch of things and then meet her there. And then we ended up in the most just lovely, perfect place for us to raise a family. So God was so good to us.
Praise God. Man. Wow. That's wild.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah. We ended up so we live in this town called Dexter, and I shout out to Dexter. It's like a very unique place, I think, in the country. It's a place where, we're next to Ann Arbor, Michigan. Ann Arbor, Michigan has a lot of challenges and people who are, far from God, and they need to hear the Lord. But we love it there. There's a lot of good things there. But then Dexter is this place that is very family oriented in a place where you wouldn't expect it. Like big families, even families that are not Catholic. Yeah. We just landed in the perfect community. I'm so happy for that, and I'm just so glad that we were able to raise our kids there.
Praise God.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then, like University of Michigan, I have a good university there. 3 of our children are there now.
3?
We have 3 Wolverines.
Gosh.
I know, right?
Wow. You getting equity for that?
Yeah. Well, my son and my daughter, they went like like not seeing their team lose at the big house like for like 2 years. I'm like, guys, like, this is not normal. Don't get used to these.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, no,
That's fun.
It's they're the two of them, and then I have one at home, 16-year-old. So we're in a different stage of life.
That's cool. Which one of your kids was in Rome with you?
Diego. So the
that's
second
right.
one. Yeah, you met him.
We had a dinner.
Yeah, he wants to he wants to pursue the priesthood. He's really committed to his faith. He's
That's amazing.
Great. The four of them are amazing.
When John and I were in Rome, we just said, we'll do whatever the Holy Spirit tells us. So we were walking to go have a dinner, and you're like, there's a table for you and John to sit with me and Diego. Come here. And I said, turn left. And we just started walking. And I was like, God shows up in text messages, and we had a wonderful dinner.
Oh, it was awesome. And John is a musician, and my son is,
they geeked out.
Yeah, they were like, it was so good. I
Your
loved
son's a
it.
trumpeter?
Yes.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, marching
Very
band. He was in the national championship
Wow.
with Michigan. So he got to be there.
That's awesome.
That was like, a great experience for him.
Man.
I
Must have been
know.
a high note.
I like that.
That's about right.
I was trying to think of something, but that was so cheesy, I can't do anything about it. I can't trump it up.
Let's see what you.
Okay.
So I ended up in Michigan. You went to Michigan. You came to the Archdiocese of Detroit.
I did. You were working in
at
the
some point I was
Archdiocese.
working for the
Yeah.
Archdiocese of Detroit. Yeah, and we invited you to come.
Like a big shot.
I mean, the bishop is a big shot.
Okay, that's
no,
fair.
The emperor.
No,
digital content.
you guys are no.
People everywhere would be like, if you want to do something meaningful in the church, follow what the Archdiocese of Detroit is doing. Follow what Edmundo's doing. Like,
we
It's like
we were so
echoes and
blessed. We
ripples.
had a great run there with the Archbishop. He appointed me to the job. It was really cool. It was one of those things. Again, if we live in this biblical worldview and you start looking at things, like what happened then happens now,
Yeah.
right? Like we're living in the same reality. This is not just stories and legends. So I get summoned by the vicar general, so the guy under the Archbishop who kind of runs a lot of the diocese. He and his deputy are meeting with me, and I'm feeling like at that time I was working for the Archdiocese for the seminary. I was helping them with marketing, communications, and PR and all that stuff. I get summoned. I'm thinking I'm going to get fired, or something happened here. There's
a scandal that you don't even know about.
Yeah, you're called to the principal's room, so you're office. Yeah, you're like, oh man, I know. So I'm there, and then this guy says, he's now a bishop. Bishop McCleary says, like, hey Edmundo, like, the Archbishop wants you to be his communications director. And I always tell people, like, I lost all negotiating, like leverage, because I was like, of course I'll do it.
Yeah, giddy.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, I was like, but because in my mind it was automatic. It's like the bishop is, and not everybody sees it like that, but they're the successors of the apostles.
It's a huge deal.
This is like, this is the people who are the successor of the apostles. Like this is God saying to me, come and help me in something. And when I was growing up in the faith, so I was in my 20s, I remember having this vision one day, this kind of dream, and I felt like if God, so backtrack. So I told you guys, I wasn't athletic, I was nerdy. And, I always had like this like tough situations where their kids are like making teams. And you have the two athletic guys and the captains, and then like, okay, you're the captains. And they start picking people. And then it's like, when you're not super athletic, you're not going to be picked like right away. So it was always like, oh man, like you're suffering, you're sweating, you want to get picked at some point. And then like you go to usually for me it was like bottom of the middle.
Okay.
I wasn't like last.
Not last, but
you know what I mean?
not
Like,
first.
but it's like, the pressure of that and that experience. So in one day in a dream, God speaks to me, and I have this vision of, if God is going to do something, I want to be picked.
Yeah.
Like I saw myself like raising my hand, like pick me.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that was my prayer. It's like, God, if you're ever going to do something, I want in. Like, pick me. Like, I'm here for you, man. Like, whatever you're doing, I want to be part of it. So, I'm here in the Archdiocese, and then the bishop says, like, do this, and I'm like, hey, this is God saying, yeah, I'm getting picked. So I was like, and that changes everything. When you stop seeing your job or whatever you're doing as something you're driving, but instead something that God is inviting you to, then the confidence comes from that calling. Because for me, every time that I do a
Well
project,
said. By the way, I just want to stop. That is so well said.
Yeah.
but it is true, right? Like if you change the way that you view things, that you're not making it happen, but it is God inviting you into something. And if he invites you, he's going to give you everything you need and you're going to have nothing to be worried about. Just makes you super confident. So when I go into this job, I'm like, we're going to change the world. We're going to change diocesan communications in the world. Like we're going to do something big here. And not because of I'm good and talented. And I know I have talents and I'm good at some things, but because it's God who is calling me
Because
to
it's
these.
supposed to.
Because it's his job, it's his dream, you know? And that's, honestly, that's how we approach all of our projects. I often, I transition from there. Now I own this company, Digital Continent, and we do media production and we do different evangelization projects. But around certain circles, I'm kind of known because I'm a good kind of closer. I'm a good sales guy, and people always ask, how do you do it? What are your secrets? How do you set it up? And I always tell them there's no science to it. Like I pray, and if I have conviction that this is God's plan, like it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then I operate out of a place of confidence that I normally don't have. I'm not naturally this confident guy, but I can operate in confidence every time that I know that this is God's plan. So, anyways.
Well, if you look at the word,
Why do you and Jeff get along so well? Sorry.
No,
That was awesome.
If you look at the word confidence, though, I mean, it literally means with faith.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is true. It's like, so discernment is the best thing, right? Like knowing, and in this case, I trust that the bishop, in the first case, the bishop prayed, made this discernment. The Bishop McCleary told me, like, he's never appointed a lay person. He's only appointed one priest to positions. You're the only one. Like everybody else needs to apply to the job. Like you're the only one. Like I was like, well, I trust that this is coming from him,
Yeah.
So, anyways,
Well said.
and you could see it, right? Like when I then started building a team, because that's the thing that I love most. I love the part of hearing God's call, believing in a dream, and then putting together a team. Because what I'm doing at that point, I'm inviting them into the dream that God already has, for them.
For sure.
And that is the cool thing. So in Detroit, we put together an awesome team. We were able to work with great people, talented people that decided to go to diocesan jobs. So that's not normally the case, and then do really a lot of great things.
Nick, when it comes to investing, I just feel like money and morality don't always line up. What's the answer?
Often that's the case, but our friends at Aquinas Wealth Advisors have a really great solution. It's called the Faith and Finance Score. You go on their website and you put in your info. They tell you where you're invested and where it doesn't actually line up with where you want to be.
So you mean I don't just have to funnel money towards a retirement fund where I don't know what it's investing in?
That's right, you don't. And you don't even have to give up or sacrifice returns. You can get both.
So just get on the computer, bing, and I type in the website.
AquinasWealth.com. It takes longer to type than it does to get your faith and finance score.
Thanks, guys. Great job, Nick.
You betcha.
You know what I think is hard about starting a business? Healthcare, for crying out loud. It's expensive. It's intimidating. At the end of the day, you're probably paying for stuff you don't even agree with. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
I knew you could. So what we did is we started working with Solidarity Health Share. Totally different. These folks are aligned with us morally and ethically. And even the structure from a cost perspective works for us as we're launching businesses, as we're growing our families. And I don't know if you know this, but a couple times my kids went to the hospital in the last 2 years.
They sure have.
Yours?
But Solidarity has walked with us through all of it, including some crazy stuff for Benny Pro, my little boy. So all of this to say, I would encourage anybody out there thinking about their own business, their own needs, check out Solidarity Health Share for a better alternative to regular healthcare. So check out learnmore.solidarityhealthshare.org/BeatiDudes. Howdy, co-hosts.
Yo!
What's up?
I love working with you guys. And what I think is so wild is how many people out there say you should separate work life from personal life. Y'all have heard that?
Yeah.
I'm not so sure about all that.
Here, we don't believe it. We think your work life and your personal life should be combined with your
Spiritual life.
And that's why we combined with hiswayatwork.com. This is a group that helps you to dedicate through consecration your entire business to the
Sacred Heart of Jesus.
That's right. Make Jesus the CEO of your business by going through the consecration, and you can get your own kit. What you do is you go to the website,
HWAW.com.
and then you put in the code.
Undivided 10.
That'll give you some money off. And then you can go through and do your own consecration prayers.
It's powerful.
It's meaningful.
Changing.
And it brings the Lord into all that you do.
We love you, Jesus. Sacred Heart of Jesus,
Have mercy on us.
Hiswayatwork.com.
HWAW.
That's what I meant. When y'all kept getting noticed because you were putting together projects that mattered on the diocese level, I know there's Catholic Media Awards that you guys were a part of, but then you kept getting brought in through your other work into special projects. And I think about two of them that I'll bring up. One is the project that you did that ended up connected to OSV for the Real+True project.
Yeah,
Would love
with the
to talk about that
catechism.
one.
Yeah, I would love to talk about that one.
The other one, we're going to talk about the Extraordinary Day of Prayer.
Yes.
So start with the Real+True.
Okay. So with Real+True.
Real+True.
Yeah, it's fine.
There's a plus in there.
We've had like debates. It's Real+True, Real+True,
Real+True.
Real+True. Yeah, doesn't matter. We were very creative putting real and then a plus sign as an and cross. But anyways, I know, right? I know. Yeah. So this project is an interesting one. So now it's about like 10 years ago. I come across 10, 11 years ago, this project, the Bible Project. Somebody sent it to me. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. They're based in Portland, Oregon. And they've done an amazing job creating I would say, the best collection of videos around the Bible to help you understand the Bible. They're incredible. They're an incredible organization. And the moment that I saw the video, I felt like this is different. Like the intentionality, the professionalism, the quality, like everything was there. Like these guys were good. And this is what I sometimes do. Is like I felt like I need to get to know these guys. I'm going to find a way to get to know these guys. Yeah. So I'm starting to do some research on them. I'm stalking them online, like just trying to figure out like who are these guys? Where do they come from? Where do they learn things? Because I felt like I need to talk to these guys. Long story short, I ended up meeting with someone that knows them who arranges for me to go there and visit them. And I go there to the Bible Project and I'm with these guys and I'm so impressed by their desire to serve the church, their clarity, their professionalism. Like as a marketer, like I appreciate clarity and an ability to communicate a project. Their tagline was perfect. They would say, the Bible is a unified story from beginning to end that leads to Jesus and has wisdom for the modern world. Like, man, I memorized that.
Yeah.
I was like, that is good. That's
Yeah.
clarity. And this is something that you guys have as a mission. And they had a super talented team. They've grown significantly since then, but they had tons of animators doing all these videos. But then this is how everything in my life happens. Like God put this desire in my heart to do something for the church. And I walk away thinking like, if one day, you allow me to do something like this, I want to do it. I want to do something that helps people understand, your message for them, right? So fast forward some years, this just happens that day. God has this thing, and I know, right? Like, and I think you guys probably have experience in your life. There's a time that there's gonna be something you don't know when, on how, but you just need to trust and believe in it.
Yep.
And then just some years after, like I encounter these other two individuals actually at the
2018 Catholic Creatives Summit in Dallas, Texas.
Yeah, so
Nick was running.
Yes, he was with his fiance. Like
on the Katy Trail.
we were here,
We were revolutionizing the world through Jesus Christ.
Hey, I knew you then, and you didn't invite me. So
That's fair.
Yes.
nobody else has that. You were excused.
Yes,
I blame you, Jeff.
There you go.
I'll make it up to you.
Yes.
I'll find a
That
way.
was that was a very important moment, I think, in the life of the.
Nick, it was
It was the 2018
The
Catholic
ultimate.
Creative Summit.
I know. Big
They're
things
actually
happen.
sponsoring this show, the 2018
The 2018.
Catholic Creative Summit.
Make sure y'all show up.
I know.
You'll regret it forever.
The guys that organized it, like I am so grateful to them, the Ambrosius and everybody that was behind. Anyways, I meet there Edmund Mitchell, who is one of my best friends now.
Oh, man.
And he's a great guy.
I
And
met him there, too.
and then I met the other co-founder, Emily Mentog.
Met her there,
And we
too.
basically, the three of us come together around this idea of doing what the Bible Project did, but for the catechism. And at that time, when I was asking around who should be part of this team. And then everybody said, Edmund is the guy. He's the catechism guy. And we put together this all-star team to do this project that was to unlock the beauty and truth of our faith in the catechism for the modern world. And so we had this dream, this idea. We came here to Dallas, actually, to visit Edmund, and we started dreaming this dream. And then, like often happens in my life and in my projects, like I was like, okay, who do I know that would be interested in this project that maybe God is calling them into that? And I make a call to OSV. I had sold a company to them before. I founded a company and I had a successful exit. I sold it to them. So I knew the CEO and he was a friend. And I make a call and then we have literally, I think, 2 more meetings. And then they said, like, we're gonna fund these through our foundation. So they, all in all, they invested a significant amount of money in this project. And then what we did is systematically covering the whole of the catechism. We broke down in 48 units. So it took us 4 years. It's a 5-year project, but it took us 4 years. So every month we would publish a new unit of the catechism. And the best thing of this is it is free. It's in 5 languages, in English, Spanish, French, Portuguese, and Italian. And catechists around the world can use it in creative ways for them. And we get like messages and emails and even people approaching us all the time. Like I use it, friends that are like watching the videos in like we don't even know how many people are using it. We know that it's in the millions, but it's just been a gift to the world. I want to say 2 more things about this project.
Please.
Can I? Okay. So even just that is like, okay, God is behind it, because to fund a multi-million-dollar project on the catechism, like you have to have alignment with people wanting this and thinking this is good, and this is where God comes in. So we're in year 1, and Jose Manuel Durquide, who kind of works in this office, and you guys know him.
He's our janitor.
He's a cool janitor. If he's
He cleans up our messes.
Yes.
That's what you mean.
yes,
Correct.
He was just in here 2 weeks ago watching us interview Monsignor Lucio so we wouldn't mess up.
He has all the.
Yeah, he was giving us the stop talk.
Yeah, no.
He's from the Vatican. Don't forget.
I saw one of you guys were all dressed up. Like,
Probably me. I look good.
I
wore a
think it was
blazer.
Paul.
Oh,
yeah,
you did. You actually did. You dressed up for the Monsignor.
I was like, he's not gonna wear a blazer for me, but that's okay. I'm not top. I'm not top tier.
if you
a
were,
collar. There's a
top tier,
Top tier.
That's,
I'm not there.
we would have gotten you some water too. But let's just keep.
So,
going.
anyways, so he invites me to go to the Vatican. We're in a phone call, the 2 of us, and he says like, "Oh, no, I'm gonna go to the Vatican. I have this event," and they invited me, and then it's and I don't know if I asked him or he told me that he had a +1, and he's just like, where are you gonna go? Like, I don't know, and I'm like, what do you mean you don't know? Like,
I know somebody.
Yeah.
So I invite myself to this event, and
Somebody's got to.
and it was really powerful. We got to meet Pope Francis. We were there, and then I invited my co-founder to go with us. So I ended up actually, the 2 of us, we were able to be there. One of our co-founders. Anyways, we're there, and then this is my first time in Rome for quote business, like doing missionary work. So very different than just like. So I'm like, okay, I need to go and meet with certain people. So I reach out to the Dicastery of Evangelization, and I end up having a meeting with Archbishop Fisichella, who is one of the subsecretaries of evangelization worldwide. So this is like a big deal
For sure.
And we have this meeting, we're literally doing research going into this meeting to just figure out what we're going to say. And we're going to present just that we're doing this project. We don't have a plan. We don't have like an ask or anything. We just were so happy that he was going to see us. So here we're meeting with the guy in charge of evangelization worldwide. And this guy has a love for the catechism because he was involved in the creation of the catechism.
Oh my goodness.
So we find out these like just very, like going into the
So
meeting.
he's kind of into it.
Oh my goodness. He showed us in his office where he has like a translation of the catechism in every language. And we were talking about our project and he said like, and one day your project is going to be here.
Yeah.
Because he saw that we needed to bring the catechism to the digital world.
Yes.
And he was so excited to be with us. And here's where my experience with working with bishops and people, in the church kind of was really effective. So I'm in this meeting, and then in some church world, sometimes people are not very direct. They say something, but you need to read in between lines, just because there's a lot of like just being very respectful.
Sure.
That's just the way that it works.
Yeah.
So then Archbishop Ezekiel at the end, he and Monsignor Bell, Monsignor Graham Bell. So there you go.
Got it.
The two of them are there, and he says, what would be helpful to you? How can we support you? And in my mind, it's like, you never say what you want, because you might ask for X, but then So I was like, Archbishop, we want this to be a gift to the church, and he says, do you think that the patronage, the endorsement, the official endorsement of your project from the Holy See would help you? And we were like,
We'll take it.
we were like blown away.
Yeah.
Like we're there in this meeting out of God's providence.
Yeah.
We're meeting with, and he sees the vision for the project because this is God's plan or our plan.
For sure it is.
We're just there. And then he offers us. So this is one of the very few projects that I know that has the official patronage of the Holy See through the Dicastery of Evangelization.
Wow.
And he wrote us a letter saying that this speaks to the sensitivities of the new world. Like,
Wow.
like this is good for the church. So
Do something, Edmundo.
I know.
on, man.
I know, it was so cool. And then he says, just like cherry on top of the cake. Is that how you say it? Yeah. And then he says like, and would you like to present, in September to the Third International Congress and Catechesis to people from all over the world about your project? And we were like,
We'll come back.
I guess. Sure.
So months after, we're there in front of the like bishops and cardinals and priests and catechists from all over the world.
Yeah.
And we were presented as one of the innovations in catechesis worldwide, and we were able to present. We were the warm-up act to Pope Francis. So we were the last part of the program before Pope Francis would come there. So I felt like one of those bands that just comes and...
The opener.
Yes!
Yeah.
There you go. You know something about that?
Yeah, a little bit.
That's right. That's right.
That's right. Wow. So anyways, just a project that the Lord has blessed. It's been a joy.
Guys, if you're doing the things that you're supposed to be doing, it's easy. Doors just open.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah. And
Right.
walk through them.
right.
Yeah, you just need to,
But raise your hand. Pick me,
and be open to, to do it, and then have the faith.
That's awesome.
The best thing of the project, I'll say these. Well, two things I'll say. Sorry, I'm talking too much.
You're actually the guest on a podcast.
Yes, so I know. But
We're trying a new format.
Yes.
Let him talk.
Yeah, let him talk. But this is to give glory to God. But so on our creative marketing, we came up with this thing called saying, real and true, on our mission to unlock, we use that word, to unlock the beauty and truth of the catechism for the modern world. So we were very deliberate. We wanted to do that. Why? Because for most people, the catechism is just a textbook. It's something that maybe you got for confirmation class. Maybe you've never even owned one or read one. And there's so much treasure there that you need to unlock. With the right approach, with the right mindset, you can really receive a lot from this great gift that the church has given us. This summary of our church, this faithful summary of our faith. So that was the way that we would present the project always, to unlock the beauty and truth of the catechism. So we're in the project. We're now I think on year 3 or something like that. And we're soliciting feedback or testimonials from people who are using it. And we get these I think via email or via Facebook, I can't remember, or Instagram. But this person says, I was recently confirmed, but I didn't know what I had received, and your project helped me unlock the graces of the sacrament.
Wow.
And we were like, if that's the only thing that we did with all that work and all that effort, that would have been enough. So here's a young person who was confirmed, who quite didn't understand what was going on. Watch one of our videos. By the way, our videos are like 4 to 5 minutes. Yeah. They're meant to pack a punch. They're explainer videos that lead you to wanting to hear more, to learn more, and then you go and grab the catechism. But that video unlocked the graces for her for confirmation. Like, that's like, thank you, Lord, that we're doing these. This is why we're doing it. This is why, God opened doors so that one person, could get to experience these. So that was one of that's my favorite memory of the whole project.
I love it. I love it.
So good.
I love it a lot. Can we, in the final parts of this episode, can we focus on really cool things happening in your world today, digital continent? You had a huge release in LA with big time celebrities. David Henry. My kids love the original Wizard of Waverly Place because we let them watch old TV and not new TV. So they think that's the coolest thing in the world. Yeah. So they think it's the coolest thing in the world. There's a lot of things they don't even know that happened. They don't realize that Charles is no longer in charge because we've just kind of kept him in the 80s. But tell us about this project that you just launched and what you're receiving so far.
So anyways, we've been talking about these. So digital continent is like the umbrella organization. So we power these digital evangelization projects. So Real+True is one. We have other projects. We have one with faith and AI that we're doing that we're very excited about. But one big project is Seeking Beauty with David Henry.
And isn't it true that when you came up with this project, you said you needed to come and see me?
Yes, I was seeking beauty.
Yes.
And unfortunately, I need to keep seeking.
Next time.
Well played. Not found here.
That's like a terrible joke. Yes. I sent him over text message, so he already knew it was stupid before I said it.
Yes, I was prepared to say something about it. No, I love it. Yes.
Keep going.
So the story of Seeking Beauty, similar thing. So I'm here with my family. We took all of our kids, so our 4 children, to Spain and Portugal. We love to travel. For my parents gave me that gift, that love for traveling, for learning other cultures, from appreciating, people around the world and different experiences. So what's important for us to take our family, we go there. We're in this city in Spain, Sevilla, and when you think of Spain, Sevilla is what you think of, bullfights, warm weather, passion, like it's the whole package. Like if you're gonna go to one place in Spain because you want the Spanish experience, is that. So we're in this very, very beautiful place. Hundreds of thousands of people visit every year, and they have this cathedral. And this cathedral is a very important cathedral. It used to be the largest church in the world at one time. And this cathedral and this city was really enriched by all the wealth that came from when Spain was the empire that didn't see the sunset.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So it's a special place. It's beautiful. People visit this place, and it's massive. So you go there, and then you're there with your family, or I was there with my family. We're trying to see the different things that you see. There's this altar piece that is the largest altar piece in the world, covered with gold. So that's invaluable. I don't know how much. It's just incredible. Christopher Columbus is buried there. So you're doing all the touristy things. And then we go to this room, and it's an amazing room. It's a chapter hall. And this is an oval-shaped room. And it's the crown jewel of a Spanish Renaissance. So it's beautiful. You come in and you feel like this is an important place. And there's one painting, only one painting at the very top. And it's a painting of Our Lady. Mm. And what I noticed is that people would go in. They didn't have a clue about what they were seeing. They would take a quick glimpse. They would look at the painting and they would leave. Literally like 2 minutes, 1 minute, it was like they had no context, no idea what was going on, and I didn't either. But I was like, okay, there's got to be a story here that I'm not seeing, right? Like, so you look at those plaques that they have, and it was just like, okay, this painting is by Esteban Murillo. Esteban Murillo is one of the most famous Spanish painters. I knew that going into. So I was just figuring out, okay, there's got to be something very special here. So I pull out my phone. I'm starting to Google some stuff. So as it turns out, this is a painting of the Immaculate Conception. The devotion of the Immaculate Conception was a devotion of the people of Sevilla had way before the church recognized these. The Immaculate Conception is the dogma that we believe that Mary was conceived without sin, that God wouldn't be born in a place where sin was present, right? So this idea. Well, the people from Sevilla actually defended that dogma against the Inquisition. They actually they made oaths that they would defend it to the last drop of their blood.
Wow.
So you have these like drama of the faith of these God, this mystery of our faith, this devotion to Mary, and then the painter was a local painter. So Esteban Murillo was from there. So you have the whole story there of how art was used to catechize and to share the truth of our faith to people in a beautiful way. Mm-hmm. And that it meant something to people, so much so that people would be willing to die to defend that part of our faith. Yeah. So just a beautiful experience there. Like, I'm very moved. And I tell my family, like, if I'm able, I'm going to make a show about that, about how beauty speaks to us, how beauty itself is something that pierces our hearts and elevates our spirits, but that faith also communicates the truth of who God is. And so I have that desire, and then, there's a long story from there to now having just the show. But God continues to open doors at different times. I end up meeting the executive producer who helped me put together some of the show and brought his crew. In the same day, the person who was leading creative and David Henry signed up for the show with a phone call. And we knew that we wanted someone who would be a seeker, a person who would be a person that you would identify with, that wouldn't be a teacher. Like, the difference of these shows. So Seeking Beauty is a show about beauty, and beauty with capital B. So finding God's beauty in people, culture, and art. And we wanted someone that would be able to journey with us in this journey of seeking beauty. And David Henry was perfect. He's like awesome guy, loves his family. He's the real deal. You guys should have him here one day.
Do it.
Yes.
Sounds great.
He's so great. And he's not a teacher, right? He actually didn't even go to college. He didn't. I think he has a high school degree, but like he's a super smart guy and super prepared, but comes in with curiosity and on all of that. So
it's way more palatable than some of the people that I think are really smart theologians, and they go to places and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, to me, I almost would just rather see the videos of stuff than some of the times that people are going so deeply into the teaching that it's making me lose the connection. Like a place I've been, and now I'm watching somebody give the teaching of it, and I'm like, this doesn't feel like what it felt like there. But you're experiencing it through David, who's relatable. He's an everybody's man, and so he's got a universal appeal too. I
think so. So it's a unique show. So it's a travel show. It's an adventure show, and he's in these beautiful places seeking beauty. And then if you watch the show, so the show is for free. So one of the things that we love doing in digital content is we want to serve the church. So the show is free. You can watch it on EWTN.com or their app that they have now on Roku and Apple TV and all that. It's a show you can watch with your family, with your children, with your wife. It's a great like date night show. And then you're in these cities. Every season is on a different country. Yeah. So season 1 is in Italy. We knew that we needed to start there. It's just such a beautiful place. I know you guys were there recently. We were there.
Just Jeff.
I was eating the Olive Garden over there. Pretty good.
We had a great time with you, Jeff, there.
That was wonderful.
Yes, it was so great.
My wife and I watched the first couple episodes on...
What do you guys think?
I think it's awesome. Like, I think it's really well done, and it was just like yeah, it is a good date night. That's a good characterization of like, you're going to learn something, you're going to see something, you're going to be entertained. It's like, it kind of has a little bit of everything, it makes it for everyone.
Oh, thank you. We're so excited. We feel like this is the type of shows that we want to see more of, right? Like things that are helping us.
It's like the Catholic Anthony Bourdain.
Yes.
Right?
That was one of the comps.
Yeah.
We wanted to
That's
do
cool.
something like that.
Yeah.
Didn't you?
I got that feel. Like I hadn't talked to you about that.
And you know, it's a show about beauty, so we had to show beauty too. So we put a lot of effort. We had a great team. The best thing of everything that I do, yes, we get sometimes God saying to us, great job, you know, Archbishop Fisichella, this email that we got. But the best thing is always the teams that make it all happen.
Yeah.
Like I have an amazing team that did this work. Our director of photography, this is this guy that has been working on the industry for years and years and years. He's filmed in 80 countries.
Jeez.
80. Like, just think about that. Like, he's worked in 80 countries. And he's been waiting to do something faith related.
Yeah.
And this was his first kind of like big show on that. So he just said yes, like,
Sure.
you know, because he felt called to that.
Easy yes.
I know. So it's a great show. Two things that have been surprising since we premiered. We just premiered in January, so it's just a new show. We have 4 of the 6 episodes out, or 5 of the 6 episodes out. You do these things and you never know if people are going to like them or love them. You know, you have friends that want to be nice to you, like you know, like yeah, that's a great show, but you really don't know until you put it out there. But I've been so surprised that people are connecting with the mission of the show beyond the show.
Yeah.
Like that's when it's and that's a foundational thing for us in digital content. And it's not a product that we're selling, but we're inviting you into a mission. And the mission here is to let beauty wound you and pierce your soul so that you can elevate your spirit and you can open your eyes. And beauty is not, it has like tears. It's not the cheap beauty that the world sells us, but the true beauty that you can find only in God. And God reveals that beauty in nature, in beautiful pieces of art, but especially in people.
Yeah.
And that's the part that has been so good about the show, that everybody that I talk to, like, they enjoy some of the segments that we have, but they always love the people that we're highlighting there, the stories of the, there's this mother that is did this painting and David ends up like buying it, like big spoiler alert, but it's the best episode. It's the best episode of Florence. But that's so beautiful. That's the beauty that we're attracted to. People who are loving the Lord, who are living good lives, who use their talents and gifts to serve Christ. Like, that's the stuff that the show is about.
I'm glad you're doing this, because years ago I remember watching some series where they took that kid that cries all the time on High School Musical.
Oh, yeah.
What's his name? Jesse McCartney.
No.
What's his name?
Oh.
He cries on command.
Well, why'd you say another name? Now I know it's Jesse McCartney.
And they made him
High School Musical.
That kid, the basketball player.
Yeah.
Yes.
Blondie, blonde face. So he goes around and they would just take on a different thing for each show. And one time was about water, and they went to like mineral water and
Lourdes,
high-end
right?
water. And
Lourdes.
they ended up going to Lourdes.
Yeah.
And it was a really well done part of like what it was like for a non-Catholic, maybe has some belief, that the guy with him had no belief, going to Lourdes and learning about miracles and having to prove them. Zach Cryface Efron.
The main guy? I thought you were talking about some obscure...
No.
When I said Jesse McCartney, you didn't get Zach Efron. You usually speak Jeff better than anybody.
I know.
Come on, man. Stay with me.
I thought you were off of the main character.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That guy.
You said blonde, which is also not really true, so that threw me off.
Okay, well,
you're really throwing curveballs here.
The one who plays guitar? What's that guy called?
What? I don't know. I've maybe seen the movie once.
I don't even think there's a guitar. But listen, the point is, I was really frustrated by a deal that was being done so well.
Yes.
From somebody who had no connection to the thing he was at.
Yeah.
And God bless them for doing a good job. But I wanted the Catholic version of somebody going to the beauty of Lourdes.
Boom.
Yes.
Let's do it.
That's
Season 3, France.
Come on.
Let's
Hey,
do
and
it.
since you don't charge any money for it, can I be considered an equity owner since I haven't given you any money? I mean, I think it's like
Equity owner.
Yeah.
For what?
the show. I mean, since there's no revenues to it, then I can give you no money and be just a 10%
in the cap
owner.
stack. Yeah.
Well,
I'm just kidding about that. You're a pretty smart businessman.
I'm glad you're bringing this up. No,
Don't you start making me write checks on them. I don't have the checks. Nick has them.
No, that's the other thing. I feel this is a message for everybody that is out there who may have dreams but sometimes have doubts. So the first thing is like, if it's God's dream, like, you need to discern that. You need to be honest about that. Is it just my idea, my passion, or is this something that maybe God has for me? And then you need to be detached. Like, if it's not God's work, like if it's not working, just let it go, right?
Yeah,
you don't need to suffer. But the other thing is, sometimes in the church I see this mentality of how much money we have, that's what we can do. And not the other way around, the way that God thinks. It's like, no, we need to do that, and then we need to figure out the resources for it.
Yep.
Because it's not like, and I think our partners, EWTN, are starting to see that in other people. It's like, to do things at certain scale require an investment, and we need to kind of believe that it's possible to do it, right?
Yeah.
Like, we all, as God's family, but also we need to evangelize with quality, because we're competing for people's attentions, and like there's a lot out there for people. Like, it's gotta be better than Anthony Bourdain. It's not just like Anthony Bourdain. It needs to be even better than that. Like, that's
to
what we
switch
should
off of, right?
Yes, we need to just believe that we can do it. I mean, we used to build cathedrals, and we used to build things that required sacrifice and dreaming big, and like we can do it. Like, we can do it.
Digital cathedrals.
Well, and I think like the church, because there has always been this fixed mindset of like, oh, once the money comes and we'll do all this stuff this way. That's why 20 years ago they had that failed project, Seeking Good Enough.
It didn't.
It bombed, man.
That's right.
Yeah.
Seeking beauty.
Zac
Well, but people, it takes vision, and it takes commitment and investment, and it takes people like David Henry who can be doing other things that are more secular, and like, he's putting himself out there, and he's taking a risk of saying, hey, this is what I stand for, and I believe in these, and in a way, it might cost him, because the gospel costs us, and that's just part of it. But also, God in a way also rewards faith and faithfulness. Like, David just told me, it's just funny. He texted me. He was so excited. Guess what? I was at the airport, and someone came and says, like, are you David Henry from Seeking Beauty?
From Seeking Beauty.
Like, he's always used to like from Wizards, and like, so he felt good about that, right?
Yeah.
Like he's serving people that he in the past he couldn't have served,
Does he
and in a
need
powerful
3
way.
co-hosts for season 2?
You guys should come.
I got another thing.
Yes.
Like, if he gets canceled by the culture or whatever,
Seeking Beauty.
we actually could really use his help on some consulting clients. We've got a job for him. So.
Undivided life.
Yes. Yeah, come join us. Yeah, he's great. I love him dearly. I wrote about this. I started like a Substack, and it's really like therapy for me, just to write stuff for myself. There's probably 3 people that read it, but I was reflecting on my experience getting to know David. You can fake being good and Catholic, and for like days, maybe a couple of weeks. But I mean, I spent like 60+ days with him on the road. Like, I saw that he's a real deal. He's a good father, a good son, a good husband, a good brother, a good friend. I mean, so it's
road
good
trip,
to do.
you learn somebody. Like international film travel, you really get to know somebody.
You're exhausted.
So it's so good. So anyway, so watch it. I think he's brilliant. You're going to find him entertaining, but I think there's something there for you in the show, just to allow beauty speak to you. And then, beauty is supposed to be something that we stop, we contemplate, which is not something that we do in our culture, right? Just to slow down and contemplate. Beauty is not something you just look at, but you contemplate beauty and allow beauty to change you, and then beauty and everything about God, what's good and what's true, elicit a response from us. So you need to respond. So I hope that that's part of the message of the show, to be seeking beauty and changing the way that we go about our lives.
Season 2 opening credits coming up, and you hear that kind of that bass line, and then it says stop, contemplate, and listen. David's back with a brand new direction, and just from there, everybody knows they've entered into goodness.
Nice beauty.
Hey, I should hire you guys for marketing for Seeking Beauty.
Nice.
Yes.
Guys,
Yes.
check out Seeking Booty.
Seeking Beauty, that is, rather. Seeking
Yes.
Beauty on EWTN. You just download the app on Amazon or
That's right.
Apple TV
That's
or
right.
whatever it is. And
Yep.
it's just right there. You don't even have to create a login.
I
It's
love
so nice. It's just like,
Well done, Nick.
You just click, and boom, you're watching this awesome show.
Thank
You're
you.
transported straight to
Yeah.
Italy.
There's a better attention to detail than I do.
Yes. Yes.
This is my last show. If you want to stay here,
I know.
I'm out.
The
Yes.
pronunciation of vowels does, in fact, change the meaning of words.
Well, we will see y'all in the English lessons of life. And for the rest of you, we will
See you in the Eucharist.
God bless. Thanks for tuning in. If you'd like to join us at our undersized table, subscribe to the video version of the show on YouTube by typing @ that's the symbol @ so shift and 2 on your keyboard, @ the _ BeatiDudes on YouTube. We'll see you there.